Alright, so the first thing I have is I just took two pieces of graph paper, taped them together, and I drew out my design for it. It's 19 inches long, 1.5 inches wide across the whole thing. Handle's 4.5 inches long, and the peak here, since I'm doing a Tapanga style machete, is 2.5 inches, and I'll just have a slight curve going up. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut out my blueprint and glue it onto my piece of metal and cut it out. Alright, so here I'm just cutting out the machete. I didn't actually glue the template on because I didn't have any glue and I really didn't think that was necessary. Just kind of trace it out with a Sharpie and I'm just cutting it out. Just to let you know, if this voiceover sounds weird at any point, it's because I'm eating spaghetti. So, that's why it sounds weird, if it does sound weird. Alright, right here I'm just starting to work on the profile of the machete. I'm working on the handle currently, mostly just kind of getting it down to shape because cutting it out with an angle grinder it looks really jagged and kind of crappy, so I just kind of cleaned it up here on my bench grinder. Alright, right here I'm starting to work on the bevel. This is the longest and most boring part of building a machete. Working on the bevel takes forever, but it needs to be done. If you're going to quit on this project, this will probably be the part where you quit at. It takes quite a while. There's really no way around it. And I sped it up, and this is only one side. I still have to do the other side. So yeah, it takes some time. Just get ready for that. Alright, now that I've got the bevel done, I left it like a little bit, that way I can finish it up with the file. I don't want to get it all the way down, plus you don't want it too thin before heat treat because it might crack. But anyways, now I'm just going to clean up the profile a little bit more with a file because after a grinder there's still some burrs and stuff and it doesn't look too great. So now I'm just going to clean up the profile with a file. Right here I'm just taking a drill bit and hammering the marks that I made on my blueprint. I laid my blueprint on top of the machete and just lined up the handle how it was supposed to be, and then I hit the spots for the handle pins with a drill bit, just kind of to make a center punch because I don't have a center punch. And now I just put some oil down in the little spots and I start drilling. I wish I had a drill press, but I'm kind of poor, so I don't have a drill press. I just have a regular drill, and I'm going to drill out my holes. Alright, now here's the heat treat process. I've just got my machete stuck in the forge here, and I'm going to heat it up to critical temperature, and then I quench it here in brine. Brine is just a mixture of salt water. I stirred around to keep stress out of it to try to prevent warping, but it still happened, so I had to do it again. So in the heat treating process, the first time I did it, when I quenched it, it warped. So I had to take it, heat it up again, flatten it, and then re-harden it. This time it stayed straight, so I don't have any problems with it. So now I'm just gonna clean off the forge scale, get it cleaned up, wash it up, and then it's time for tempering. For tempering, I just stuck the machete inside an oven at 400 degrees for 2 hours. Here you see I'm using a jigsaw to cut out the handle. I just put the tang and the machete on top of some red oak and traced around it with a pencil. I also marked the spots where the holes were so I can drill it later. They didn't line up perfectly in the gluing, that's why you'll see later in the gluing process I had a little bit of a problem. So next time I probably won't do that. And here I'm cutting in half. I'm using a hacksaw, so there's a minimal loss of material to sawdust. I want to try to keep as much of it as I can, but I'm just trying to get it as straight as I can because it's a hand saw, so it's kind of hard, but I get it pretty straight. Alright, since I used a hacksaw to cut it, the insides aren't perfectly flat, so I'll be using those on the outside of it. So I'll use the outside of the handle since it's perfectly flat. And I clamped it on here, and now I'm just going to drill the holes. Alright, now that I've got the holes drilled, I put my pins through them. I'm just using some 16 penny nails. And I'm just going to profile this down a little bit. I'm going to use a saw, cut off this because I want this a little bit rounded. I don't like the sharp edge. And I'm going to get them to the exact same. And then I'm going to glue them onto the tang of the machete. And then I'm going to peen these and put the tube in as well. Alright, here I'm just spreading some glue onto both sides of the tang and onto the handles. I had a little bit of a problem during this part, and like the nails didn't want to quite go through all the way, so I ended up having to take it over to the vise and kind of pound them through. Had a little bit of a problem, but I ended up getting it to work. After I got them on there, I just clamped the crap out of it and let it dry. And here I'm taking a rasp and I'm starting to clean it up because the handle's not all the way down to the tang. So I'm just rasping it down to get it down to the shape I need it at. This does take a little bit of time. You're going to create a lot of sawdust. And where I peened my pins at, they still stuck out a little too far, so I had to take it to the bench grinder and just kind of flatten them down. It burned the wood a little bit, but that's alright. I ended up sanding it a lot anyway. Alright, now I'm just starting to sand on the handle. Every so often I might have to go back to a rasp just to get a little bit more off, but I started out with 100 grit, went to 150, and then went to 220 grit sandpaper. What works best is cutting into strips and pulling it side to side. Now what I'm doing is I got some linseed oil. I'm just oiling the handle to keep it waterproof. I'm going to go outside and do a few tests now, just so you can see exactly what kind of machete, a homemade machete can actually be, how well it can do. so that's the test I had for it. It chops through those 2x4s the long way. It's like splitting wood with an axe. It's so effortless, easy. Walking through the windbreak, I'm hacking tree branches, and it's easy. This thing is by far the best weapon I've ever built, and useful too. It's a useful tool, great weapon. I am so pumped about this. It worked so well, and it's a very high quality machete, I think. Anyways, besides the machete, Ace of Blades channel, we have t-shirts. Go to aceblades.spreadshirt.com. Put the link in the description to the video. Awesome t-shirts. I really want to get some, but I'm broke because I haven't made any money off YouTube. Just spent money. Got cool t-shirts, hoodies, coffee cups. I mean, I think I even got a bro tank. But yeah, all sorts of cool stuff. Check it out. Get some cool Ace of Blades gear. Yeah, I think that's it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Go ahead, subscribe if you haven't. Like the video, share the video with your friends. Try to give me some more subs if possible. I'd love that. I already love you guys, but I'd love you even more. I guess that's really it for this video. I'll see you guys next time. I'm the Ace of Blades, saying so long.